Hey, kings, queens, and everything between. I want to make a disclaimer. This is a trigger warning. In this episode, I do talk about police brutality, racism, and a whole lot of other stuff. But I also talk about the good things like coming to America. I wanted to make it clear before you do come into this episode that there is a trigger warning in here about police brutality and race. And if you are not fond of that, if this might trigger you, please move on to another episode. But thank you so much for supporting me. Hey, kings, queens, and everything in between. I gotta tell you what happened last night. Little story time. I said I wasn't gonna say anything, but the way my emotions were, the way this affected me, I said I need to put this out into the community. This needs to be a conversation that needs to be talked about. And I also want, like I said, one time for a good time, to be a platform where people can come and share their thoughts, talk about PC and non-PC things and not get in trouble. So last night I had a great day. I had a good day at my job. My shift went well. And then I get off 9 o'clock. And as I'm driving, I realized, and I'm talking about, I pull out of my job, like pull out of the parking lot onto the road. And I said, like, it's very interesting. Like, the road looks a little dark today. Like, why does it look so dark? And as I said that, police lights come on behind me. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I didn't have my lights on. And I'm freaking the fuck out because, first of all, I want to make this clear. This is my first time ever being pulled over. So I'm freaking out. Like I said, this is my first time ever being pulled over, and I pull over into a Honda dealership where, me and the cop can be safe. I don't. And also, subconsciously, now that I think about it, I did pull into that Honda dealership because I knew they had cameras recording, and I was like, if something was to go down, it would be captured on camera. That's so crazy that I subconsciously thought that. Anyway, so I pull over and I'm immediately shaking. Like, I immediately grab my phone and I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm getting pulled over. Like, I just want somebody to know what the fuck is happening to me, depending on how this scenario is going to play out tonight. He comes to the window, very, very nice. I want to make this clear. He was extremely nice the whole time. And this whole interaction happened in a time span of 5 minutes. And the reason I'm telling you this is because the thoughts that I had in 5 minutes, you would have thought that something happened when nothing happened. So he comes to the window and I roll the window down and he's like, ma'am, you do know I pulled you over because you had your lights were off. And I was like, officer, I'm so sorry. Like, I just, like, the moment you turned your lights on, I noticed my lights were off. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I completely understand why you're pulling me over, da-da-da. He's like, can I get your driver's license? This is where I freaked the fuck out. Because my driver's license is in my bag. And I look at the bag, and I look at the officer, and I look back at the bag. And in my mind, this is where everything starts to spiral. I'm like, oh my God, this is where I get shot. Every name on Black Lives Matter billboards went through my mind. I thought about how the last person I talked to was my shift leader. I thought about how my mom was on the cell phone. And you know what I did before I even reached to get the wallet? I put my mom on mute. Because in my head I said, if he does pull his gun and shoot me, I don't want my mama to hear me die. And like I said, you could call me dramatic. You could say I was doing too much, whatever. But I'm telling you the genuine thoughts I had during this 5-minute encounter. So I slowly and clearly reach for my bag. I pull my wallet out. I grab my license and I hand it to him. He walks off, goes to the car. I'm sitting there panicking. I take my mom back off off mute. I said, Mom, are you still there? She's like, yeah, I'm still here. She's like, what he doing? I'm like, he is running my plates or whatever. She was like, you gonna be all right. You gonna be good. Just calm down. Like, just get through the encounter and come home. So he comes back and he gives me a warning. Thank you so much for giving me a warning. He gives me a warning and he's like, hey, drive safe, turn your lights on, leave. Now, you would think, oh, that's not bad. It wasn't bad. That whole encounter wasn't bad. The cop was nice. the whole entire time. I want to make that clear. And another thing I want to make clear is that when we talk about police brutality, when we talk about encounters with the police, a lot of people always seem to have bad encounters, regardless if it was environment or growing up or just a bad stop. But one thing I realized, I never in my life had a bad encounter with a police officer. But the PTSD, the slave mentality that I acquired during that 5-minute stop, you would have thought that every encounter I ever had with a police officer was wrong. Personally, I work at Starbucks. We have officers come in all the time. You know, we talk about their families, we talk about their shifts, we talk about are they doing well. You know, I make sure I make their coffee special sometimes, whatever. But I realized when I was getting stopped, I said, oh, this is no longer Starbucks. I'm no longer behind a counter, and you're no longer telling me about the baby you just had last week. I'm like, you're sizing me up. You're mentally thinking, is this woman going to pull something? Is this woman a threat to me? Am I going to have to hurt her for my safety? I'm over here thinking, am I going to make it home? I need to put my phone on mute because my mom might hear me die. Is my shift leader's face the last face I'm going to ever see? Am I going to get arrested? And if I am arrested, will I be okay? All of these thoughts are going through my mind in that 5-minute span. And the crazy thing about it was during that shift, one of my other coworkers came in with their boyfriend. And they look all lovey-dovey on each other. They're hugging each other, loving on each other. Cutest thing ever. And they popped into my mind, and I thought, damn, I never really got to experience love like that. Am I really going to not experience love because my lights went on? And you could say, and as I say this out loud, it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm fucking crazy or I'm being dramatic. But these were genuine thoughts I was having during this 5-minute span. And so I'm shaking, and I remember when he was walking to the car, I'm like, this man doesn't even know that I'm educated. This man doesn't even know that I'm sweet, that I'm a nice person, that I have a family, that I'm a sister, that I'm a daughter to somebody. And in my mind the whole time I'm thinking, how can I make myself submissive as possible? I take my mask off immediately. You know, I'm hoping you see the childlike face I have. You know, I'm submitting. I'm tucking in my shoulders to make myself look smaller. Because if you guys don't know, I'm 6 foot. I'm the size of a grown ass man. So what can I do to make myself look smaller? I'm tucking my shoulders in. Is this officer going to see me shaking as I reach for the bag? Is he going to see this as me being nervous or me being suspicious? All of these things are going through my head. You know, if he pulls his gun out on me, can he at least do it when I'm not looking? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Can he call backup? Is he going to call backup? Am I going to be a threat? I'm thinking, when he pulls up my record, what's going to pop up? I've never been pulled over in my life. I'm like, I don't even know what will pop up. And the funny, ironic thing about it is, 2 days ago, I was looking at my YouTube channel, Kristy Archer, and I was looking at the videos that I thought I would potentially delete. Like, I'll potentially give up because they no longer resonate with me. And if you go to that channel, you scroll all the way down to the bottom. Last year, I made a video called I'm Black and It's a Crime. And this talks about the time I was pulled over with my mom for something. And the feelings I had during that stop were the exact same feelings I had last night. What made me think about it was because in both scenarios, I thought I was going to die. And in both scenarios, the cops were amazing. The cops were really nice. But I thought I was going to die in both situations. And in both situations, the only thing I could think about was every police brutality victim out there in the world. You know, Rodney King came to my mind. Everybody came to my mind, and I thought, I'm about to be another name on a billboard. This is it. I'm not going to be able to live the life I want. I thought about all the things I couldn't have achieved. I thought about everything I wanted to do, but I couldn't do. And I was just like, God, please, let me get home. Let me get home and I'll be good. Just let me get home. All of this happened in 5 minutes. I reflected on my entire life in a time span of 5 minutes. And now that I say it out loud, yes, I do sound dramatic. I do sound over the board, whatever. But it made me realize these are the things, these are the thoughts Black people have. And when I got home, when I finally got home safely, I was extremely blessed. I get home and I thought about how I used to watch Live PD all the time. How the cops would try to pull someone over, but they would keep going and keep speeding. And then the cop would finally get them and be like, why ain't you just stop? You would have just got a ticket, but now you're going to get this, and this on your record. And the people would be like, I was scared. And I never, ever understood that. Like, yeah, why didn't you just stop? But last night when he turned his lights on, my initial thought was, maybe it was an accident. Maybe if I keep driving, he'll turn his lights on and just pass me. But as I went to pull over and go into the Honda dealership, I'm thinking, no, this is for me. No, I did fuck up. I am about to get this ticket. This wasn't a mistake. And it made me realize that fight or flight instinct and why people go on speed and chases with cops, because it is genuine fear. When those lights come on, it felt like I was in a horror movie. It didn't even feel like it was real. I was like, holy shit, like these blue and red lights are real. These blue and red lights have power over people and we don't even realize it. Any other person would get pulled over and be like, yep, I got pulled over. Let me take it. Let me move on. But when I got pulled over, I'm thinking about, yo, I didn't live the life I wanted to live. I have so much more things I want to achieve, And it was so funny because when he let me go, because I'm not trying to make this as sad as possible. I'm really not. Like, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys. But it was so funny because, like, when he, like, let me go, I was like, officer, come to my Starbucks. I'll give you a free coffee tomorrow. And the funny thing is, I don't even work. Like, I'm recording this right now, and I don't even work. Like, so tomorrow would have been today, and I don't even work today. But I offered him a free coffee because I was that scared. Cops do not realize how much power they have over people. I've never submitted to a person like that in my life. They're literally nobody. And I thought, wow, this badge, this small little badge put me in a slave mentality. You should have heard how I was talking. I'm talking about, I put on my Harvard voice. I put on my elite voice. I took the country accent out of me. Like, I was terrified. I was like, look, no, thank you. No, sir. Thank you, sir. Like, I'm scared. And it's funny because I can laugh about it now, but at the time, I was petrified. I thought, this is it. But anyway, I don't want to down on that anymore because, like I said, the officer was really nice. Beautiful man. Thank you so much, officer. I forgot your name. But thank you for being so nice. Thank you for not, seeing me as a threat or do anything harsh and just giving me a warning. I really deeply appreciate that. I know you would never listen to this podcast, but just thank you. I just want to put it out into the universe. But like I said, we got to train ourselves as Black people, as people of color, to be okay. Yes, it is terrifying as fuck to be pulled over. Absolutely terrifying. But for us to get into this mindset that we're going to die that this is it, that they're gonna wrongfully hurt us, that I don't like that. You know, even though that is a accurate thing that happens every day, I just didn't like how scared I was for something that wasn't even that deep. Like, my lights weren't on. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't carrying anything. It was just my lights weren't on. And I thought that was my last day on earth, you know? So I feel like when it comes to that, us as people and people of law enforcement need to come together more and talk and join and love on each other and communicate and build relationships. Because like I said, they come into Starbucks all the time. We have conversations all the time about family, about newborns, about their shifts and everything. But then I realized, oh shit, I'm no longer behind the counter. We're on the field. This is your arena. Like, you don't see me as the girl that's getting you a pike place right now. You see me as a potential suspect, a potential harm to you. And that's what scares me, is because we can be on the sidelines talking and chilling and having fun, but when we on the game, when we on the field, you could hurt me. You could injure me and nothing can happen. But on the sidelines, we having a good old jolly time. So, like I said, I just wanted to talk about that because by the time I did get home, I was very emotionally distraught. You know, I called my brother crying, you know. And it wasn't I was crying because there was a bad experience. Because like I said, the officer was nice. But I was just crying because I was caught slipping. You know, I immediately knew why he pulled me over. I knew my lights were off. I tried to fix it, but it is what it is. I'm a very good driver, and you know, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I try to do everything correctly. So just to know that I was slipping and he saw me, that just fucked me up mentally. But later on, something amazing happened and my whole night changed. Coming to America came out and I watched it. And oh my God, when I want to call you kings and queens and everything in between, y'all, that was an amazing fucking movie. People were down in it. People saying it was trash. People saying it was this. Yo, y'all are fucking haters. That movie was great. I understand, like, from the first Coming to America and then this one, I understand that you think it was supposed to be over the top and way better than the first one. But it did meet its expectations. And I think because I went into it thinking, oh, this shit is going to be trash, it's going to be bad, that it made it that much better. Because I'm like, oh my God, this shit is funny. I'm laughing, I'm giggling, you know. I had a really good time. But you know what? One thing I did see in Coming to America that I enjoyed? The unity. Seeing all those black people come together to make one film, to see the family, to see love, to see the laughter that came out of that film, and to even look at the bloopers at the end of everybody messing up and having a good old jolly time. I was like, that is exactly what I want one time for a good time to be. A place where we all chilling, laughing, having a good time. And you know one thing, let me tell you something. Eddie Murphy gonna put somebody on. Eddie is gonna put somebody on. I don't care what anybody say. He is gonna put somebody on. He had everybody and their auntie in that movie. I'm talking about Tiana, DeVito, Tracy Morgan, Arsenio Hall, him, Lunel, Leslie Jones. Leslie carried that bitch. Leslie carried that hoe to the finish line. You know, Eddie had everybody and anybody in that movie. Like, he reminded me of Adam Sandler. You know how Adam Sandler gonna carry everybody? Like, Adam gonna put somebody on. Eddie gonna put somebody on. And another inspirational thing, Rick Ross's house. To see Rick Ross get such a small fucking part, but to know that the whole movie was shot in his house, oh my God, that was so inspirational. I'm like, dude, you damn near this, you playing the sidekick, but this your fucking house. And then they said that his house is on 400 acres of land. 400 acres. I can't even get 1 acre. And you got 400 of those bitches? Oh my God, Rick definitely inspired me last night. Like I was looking at his house and the different scenes they were shooting in. I'm like, oh, yup. I need to work harder. I need to I need to fight harder. I need to do this. I need to find something different because that is crazy. It was almost as like they put Rick as the janitor, but he was the owner of the place. I thought that was so amazing. And then he caught like what, two to three checks. He got a check for being an actor and for providing the property. I said, oh, he in his bag. He in his bag. And knowing Rick Ross, he probably had lemon pepper wings on the set at all times. No, guys, if you are looking for Coming to America, please watch it. I thought it was spectacular. Everybody held their own. Like, I'm talking about, I was laughing so hard when Leslie said, somebody tell me why the mashed potatoes are black. Oh my God. I died laughing. And then they was saying that Eddie Murphy's child was the bastard. And then when Leslie said, y'all know I was a hoe, right? Y'all know I was a hoe. I just love her. Oh, she carried the fucking movie. She carried that shit. So like I said, if you want to check Coming to America out, please do. I highly recommend it. Everybody's hating on it. Everybody's saying that it's not the best or it sucked or they turned it off at 20 to 40 minutes. Y'all fucking lying. That was a great fucking movie. Eddie did his thing. Eddie put motherfuckers on. Eddie put food in people's pockets. I say in people's pockets. Eddie put food in people's stomachs. And they made a beautiful picture. And Rick Ross was flexing on you hoes the whole time because I didn't even realize the whole movie was filmed at his house. I was like, your house is that fucking big to the point that the whole movie was filmed. Even the outside scenes was filmed at his house. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was absolutely crazy to me. So if you want any inspiration, if you want laughter, if you want unity, family, look at the movie. I promise you, that movie was everything I needed last night, especially after that encounter with the police officer. I was in tears laughing. That shit was so fucking hilarious. So watch it. Anyways, I know today's episode was a little bit upsetting. It was a trigger warning, I guess you want to say. But it was a real conversation I did want to have with you guys. Like I said, these are conversations we need to have in the community. Like I said, coming from a family or lifestyle where I've never had a bad encounter with a police officer, but still be as afraid as if I did. I didn't like that. To know that people have bad encounters with police officers every day and are still afraid. I don't, you know what I mean? We need to talk about these things. And I know I want one time for a good time to be a good atmosphere, a loving atmosphere, a laughing atmosphere. But like I said, we are going to have these serious conversations where we have to reflect on life and come back to reality a little bit and talk about the things that are happening out in this world. Again, another shout out to the officer for being so nice and not seeing me as a threat and letting me go home safely. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I was slipping. My lights were off. And he did his job the exact same way he was supposed to. Thank you guys for listening so much. And please, if you are on Spotify, go to Spotify. I'm about to leave a song at the end of this episode for you guys to listen to. I feel like this song going to fit very well with this episode. If you're on any other platform, the song would not play. But if you want to hear the song, go to the Spotify episode and you'll hear it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening, tuning in. I love you. See you in the next one. Mwah.